Good afternoon, everyone. Do you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you, Noor. So hope you are all doing well, safe, you and your family. Yeah, so today we have a session online. So guys, whenever you want to say something, you just, unmute yourself and talk. You can, raise your hand. You can send a message in the chat. So yeah, so let's make it as interactive as possible. So yes, so let's start, guys. So I guess the lecture won't take much. I take the attendance by the end of the class. And yes, yeah, before I forget, so tomorrow, inshallah, also in the lab, we'll have it online. We'll be working on back tracer. So just make sure that packet tracer, the Cisco packet tracer, we worked on it in the first weeks of the course. So just make sure that you have it installed in on your machine, and we'll do that. Okay. So yes, so this is for tomorrow. Now today is today. Let me share my screen. Bismillah. Just please confirm that you see it. I mean, you see the screen. Yes? Do you hear me? Yes. Okay, Jawahir, thank you. So guys, so today we'll finish module 4, IoT network architecture and design. So I won't really start module 5, so we still have time. So I'll just finish with this module. So just let me remind you a bit what we did last time. So we talked about these three, actually not all of them. We finished with layer 1. Layer 2, we stopped at IoT network management sublayer. Okay, so we talked about sublayer 1 access network sublayer. So just let me refresh your minds, guys. Again, please take note whenever you need. So when we talk about access network sublayer, it's about how data is transmitted between or starting from the smart objects, meaning sensors, actuators, to the collectors. So this is, I mean, what's this first sublayer is about. So from smart objects to info collectors. I think yeah, so it's like I'm in class, I'm writing on the board. So let me just here write down whenever something I feel. So this is sublayer 1. So it's data transmitted. Yeah, you cannot see me, so I said I'll send the message once finished in the chat. From the smart objects to the info collector. When I say, guys, info collectors, it might be gateways, base stations, routers. This is what I mean by info collectors. Then we saw the second sublayer, so sublayer 2. So it's kind of the other part of the path of the network communication. So here we talked last time about backhaul network. So which is, who can reminds me, what's backhaul network communication? So you can unmute yourself and talk, or you can send a message in the chat. So let me talk about sublayer 2. So it's here from the access point, whatever access point you have. I mean, the data transmitted from the access point to the central station now. What do I mean by central station? We'll see tomorrow in the lab, some simulation of that. So I'm talking about the cloud, the internet in general, I mean, internet or the server. Okay, so this was sublayer 1. The backhaul network, we talked about it last time. So this is a transportation network that carries data from the gateway to the central system. And this is sublayer 2 in the layer 2 of the IoT functional stack. Okay, guys, so we talked a lot about it last week. And then we finished with the sublayer 3, which is kind of the whole path now. So it's like, if I summarize it, so it's from sensors to, let's say, if we have a gateway, to the backhaul, all the way long to the central station, to the clouds. Okay, so you see my chat and everything, guys, right? So I won't make the PowerPoint full screen because I can't see the chat if I do so. So I'll keep it this way. Then I can at the same time, use the chat. Is that fine with you? Please talk.
Yes, Miss
Yes,
Mustafa.
it's fine.
I want to feel that I'm not talking to with myself, just to myself. Thank you, guys. Good. So today, guys, we'll finish with these 3 dots. So namely the IoT network management sublayer, the last sublayer of layer 2. Then we'll talk about layer 3, application and analytics layer. So this is today's menu. So we stopped last week, if I'm not mistaken, in slide 76. Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah. The last thing we saw in this slide about the last sublayer of layer 2. Okay, now last or the fourth sublayer of layer 2 is IoT network management sublayer. Let me just reduce this thing. Yeah, before reducing it, we talked about UDP TCP, guys, protocols. Can you remind us what's the main difference between TCP and UDP? Which one to use for which case? Are there some factors that might help us decide which one is most suitable for our case? Or let's say the main focus of each one of them. So both of them are protocols used for data transmission. They do almost the same thing, but they have different properties, very different ones. So do you remember the main difference between TCP and UDP?
The speed,
Who's talking?
Adam.
Adam, thank you so much. Which one focuses mostly on speed, Adam?
I think UDP, right?
Thank you so much. Yes, excellent. What else? Let's say what's the strength of the advantage of using TCP? What guarantee you can have when using TCP? Guarantee with
More
regards.
reliable.
Thank you so much. Adam as well, right?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Adam. Yes. So I write it down here as a summary as well, guys. So TCP, is used when reliability is critical. Meaning, we want to make sure that the data arrives at destination complete. No, whenever we have some packets dropped, we need to resend again. So this is what does it mean, reliability. So when your data is critical, you should go for opt for TCP. Now UDP, the main, let's say, property of UDP, it's lightweight. It's a lightweight communication. So let me put it between parentheses. Lightweight communication. So it's mainly used or preferable, as Adam mentioned, when speed and also low overhead are important. Overhead matter. Okay, and that's why UDP is, heavily used in IoT systems. Okay, so what does it mean overhead? Do you have an idea? So when we are transmitting data, we have the data itself, the actual data, and normally we need to support the transmission with some other things. These other things are the overhead, okay? It can be, some data that we need for carrying the data itself. It can be some other data for error handling. There are, actually we talk about this thing in detail in the IoT application design course. And we have even, some calculations that we can make to know the overhead of each and every protocol. But don't forget, it's not the overload. It's not, it's not the payload. The bandwidth, the actual data, but it's some other data that like headers that we use to, for ensuring that the data arrives at destination, seamlessly. Okay. Good. So let me, okay, reduce this up. So yeah, so this is what's written here. So IT, so the sublayer 4, it's about the management of the network. So IP, TCP, and UDP are protocols that we can use in IoT networks. So we talked about how UDP are suitable for IoT networks, but also IP and TCP are used. Okay, again, there is no a best one. There is also always, depending on the case. Okay. If you remember, we talked